Good.
It's Megan. For Pint Nine Brewing in Papillion. And we are about to celebrate their third anniversary. Thank you so much for joining us.
Very excited.
Yeah. So hey, what we here's what's going on in the background. You want to go
Little background. So we opened 3 years ago. The whole idea started 2005. I bought my husband a Mr. Beer kit. I think where every good brewery starts is with a beer kit, right? 6 months later, he said, I know what I want to do when I grow up. Started researching schools, started taking physics and chemistry and all the classes he could so he could go out to UC Davis to go to school. Did that in 2009. Came back to Omaha after graduating and started at Upstream out west. Then he moved on to down in Lincoln for a couple of years, and then he ended up at Upstream downtown. And it was about that time he started working on a business plan to do his own thing. And it took him about 4 years from the day he started business plan to find all the right investors and the right group of people and get doors open. To include one of our other owners, which is another brewer that he met at Upstream too. So Denny.
Awesome. So Leah, tell me what's going on in the background there? What are they doing today?
Very exciting day. We are canning today, so that's why I get to do the interview instead of the boys. But we're canning False Idol, and this is a brand new all year launch for us. So a really exciting day at Pint Nine. It is a New England style IPA, and we've been working on this for a really long time, trying to make the recipe right and get it to be exactly what the boys wanted. So today's the first day of canning. It'll go to the distributor tomorrow. And yeah, it's a very exciting day today.
Awesome. So Leah, tell me a bit about a little bit about your guys' name. How did you come up with the name?
Sorry, one more time.
How did you come up with the name Pint Nine?
Oh, really good question. So I'm going to kind of date how old we are, but when my husband turned 21, it was 95. And back then, you didn't have these really great large sections in craft beer stores and Hy-Vees and grocery stores to go shop at to get really good beer. So they used to go to a lot of the bottle shops. There was 2 Spirit Worlds then. They'd go to the Moon, different places, and they would pick up half liters of really good English or Belgian or French beers. And then they'd get together on a weekend and share them all. And Jimmy and the guys always referred to them as Pint Nines because they were 16.9 ounces. And that's kind of how the name came about. He was trying to come up with a name and thought, God, this is really where my love of really great beer started, was with all these half liters of beers we got to get back then.
That's awesome. So out of the pint nines that they were drinking back then into what they're making today, would you guys your
last part of that again? Sorry, Megan.
That's okay. I understand.
It's loud in here.
Yeah. How would you say what is your bestseller, and then what is your
Perfect. Okay. So bestseller changes from taproom to market. We were keg only the first couple of years, so IPA was always first place the first couple of years in kegs. Now that we have cans in the market, it's kind of really fun to see how it kind of goes back and forth. We have in cans our IPA, Cloud Jumper, and our Oso Cafe, and then we always have a seasonal right now until this gets released tomorrow. And they kind of go back and forth, the 3 mainstays ahead of the seasonal always. But this month, Cloud Jumper's beating it out in cans. The last 6 months prior to, or should I say most of the winter, Oso Cafe was the lead in cans in the market. And the first few months, it's IPA. So I think seasonally a little bit of that changes. The tap room, almost every month, Cloud Jumper is a solid winner in the tap room while we're serving pints. And when we had full capacity in here, Cloud Jumper tends to beat out everything else in the tap room. My personal favorite is the Oso Cafe, but I cannot get enough of beer and coffee. And so you put those two things together, and I'm just in heaven. Dark beers and coffee, and any dark beer. I love dark beer. It's about my favorite category. So
awesome. That's really cool. So what would you say is your favorite part about being located where you are?
There's two main things that you wouldn't know until you get there. The first thing that happened to us was about 3 weeks after Jimmy signed our lease. Cross Train signed their lease next door to us. So we have always been, from day one since we opened, had a brewery next door to us, and it makes for a really great symbiotic relationship. We do food trucks 3 or 4 nights of the week. The food trucks are really happy because they have 2 different brewery locations to feed off of. We have a neighbor to always go talk to borrow a cup of sugar from, cup of coffee from, whatever you need. And then the other part of being where we're at is this exit. So if you jump off the interstate, exit 442 has 5 breweries and 2 distilleries off of this exit now. So we meet once a month. We get together and plan bike events, and we do a Groundhog's Day event every February where we all do a beer aged in Patriarch whiskey barrels that we get from Patriarch right down the street. So it's a lot of fun to get together and do things together and have that community support from someone who's doing the same thing as you are.
Awesome. So tell us that's super cool. We love having 2 breweries, right down the street from one another. It helps with a whole bunch of stuff. So that's a really cool treat. And then can you tell me, Leah, what is next on your guys' to brew list?
To brew list. So obviously the fall cider coming out today. Actually, we released Belgian wit, and it's called Who's Garden. It is seasonal, so that just went out this week. The fall cider today. I think the next new brew that they'll make is a really limited can release that's going to be in the market. The stores will get it. It's called it's a honey hibiscus ale, and it'll be super limited to the stores. But we made it last year. We do a Buzz for the Bees event every year for the zoo, along with Farnham House and Crescent Moon. And we did it last year, and it was really fantastic ale. It's got quite a bit of honey, and then the hibiscus flowers give it a really nice flavor and a beautiful color. So I think that's one of the next ones they're brewing, which I love that beer. Not a style I would have thought I absolutely loved, but I loved it.
Super different from a super dark coffee beer, right?
Yes, yeah. Try anything once. I won't always, try anything once is always the rule, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the perk of a beer fest. Tell me, to get down to Digital Do the Brew, by the way, thank you so much for being a part of it. We hope that everyone can get their hands on some of your cans for the event and are sipping on it right now. But tell me, what do you have for your auction item? Can you explain?
Thank you, first of all, for having us for this. We're really excited. This is a great way to spread community without us all being able to get together, being able to talk about our beer, and still having some sense of some normalcy right now while all this is going on. So thank you, guys. And then our auction items, we have 2 items. We have a brewery tour for 8. So when this all clears up, we'll invite 8 of you in, and it'll probably be Jimmy or me or Denny that did the tour. And you'll get, everybody will get a free pint, and you'll get to come in and experience all this fun noise in the back and check out the grain room, the tanks, and everything else, and see how we do things here. Try out some beer. And the second auction item is I believe it was 6 different 4-packs out of our front. And then you also get a hat and a t-shirt and a sweatshirt of your choice too. So it's kind of a nice all together Pint Nine pack.
Awesome. Those are great. Thank you so much for pulling those together. It means a lot. And all of the proceeds that are donated toward your auction item go back to you as a brewery. So
very cool concept.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we go have ourselves a pint?
You guys say hi really quick. There's Denny. He's waving at you guys. And there's Jimmy. Wave hi. And thank you guys so much for supporting Pint Nine and all the other local breweries here in the state, especially during this time. We all really appreciate it. It's very heartwarming to see all the support for local breweries right now.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Olivia, and we look forward to actually being able to see you soon. And you pick up some good stuff, okay?
Thanks, Megan.
All right.
Very much. I'll see you soon.